Good morning, everybody. Julian here from J. Lewis Trading, and putting together this video for you guys this morning based on the fact that I've got hundreds of people last week alone, just to put this into perspective, just last week alone, that have been reaching out and mentioning that one of their core challenges with trading is understanding pattern recognition correctly, and how to go about understanding how patterns work. So I wanted to put this together in an attempt to help you with that and sort of guide you along the idea of how patterns work. So the big thing about patterns that you want to know first and foremost is that when you're understanding or trading from a technical position, which means you're basing your opinions almost entirely on the charts, it's important to understand patterns that replicate themselves over and over and over again. And there are a whole host of different patterns. I want to say there's easily a few hundred based on the Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns. And the real value is just understanding literally one or two and having a very, very hyper focus on just understanding one or two great patterns. So what I want to do is I want to show you a couple of these patterns, and I want to show you how these patterns replicate over and over and over again, and how when you can get in front of these things, how you can put yourself in a high probability situation to garner some success moving forward with trading. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to start off with Piton. This is a random chart that I pulled, and I just want to show you two simple things. The overall trend, which is bullish, and the fact that it respects the exponential moving average that I have on this particular chart. So we can look at this and say that the overall pattern here is that price action is moving up. But we all know fundamentally that stocks don't move straight up or down in a straight line. There's a very there's a certain type of repetition that you'll see when price action moves up. For example, price action moves up and then it pulls back, okay? And that replicates itself over and over and over again. Price action moves up and then it pulls back, okay? And then we're going to see that again. Price action is going to move up, it's going to pull back. There's a little bit of a flat top here, and then from there it moves. And it moves up and it has this really beautiful leg up right through here, and then it loses a little bit of steam, and what does it do? It pulls back. So what you can see in this particular situation is that there is a leg up and a pullback, a leg up and a pullback, a leg up right through here, flat top breakout, moves up, and then it pulls back. It moves up, and again, right now on Piton, it is moving back. So the pattern that you're seeing here, and this is, you can go on any chart, and this is the same thing that you will see on the bullish side, and flip it upside down for the bearish side, is that price action on the long side will move up, and then it needs to take a break. It moves up, takes a break, moves up, takes a break, so on and so forth. And right now, it's moved up and it's taking a break. Now, based on the prevailing trend, the theory is that the high probability move will be to the upside. So at some point, when this resistance level breaks long, we're then going to see another leg up. And this is what pattern recognition is. You're recognizing that the pattern on Piton's daily chart is that it moves up and then pulls back. It moves up, it pulls back. It has recently moved up and recently pulled back. And with all of that data, it suggests that the what's going to follow is that we're going to see a breakout on Piton long. Now, I just want to put this out. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or trade this stock. This is a random chart that I've pulled. I don't think I've actually even ever traded Piton. I just pulled a random chart, and I'm doing an example of pattern recognition. So in the case of Peloton, Piton as we call it, PTON, what we're looking at is a pattern where price action moves up, it pulls back. It's on the pullback where you would want to become interested in buying the dip. It's again in the pullback where you would become interested in getting long on the pullback. It's again right through here. There's a pullback, and a pullback is the place where you're interested in potentially wanting to get long. Now, what you will see out there a lot is price action is long and it's moving up on a string and it's getting higher and higher and higher, and people are arbitrarily jumping in, and there's no thought process to what they're doing. They just arbitrarily jump in because the stock is quote unquote hot. Now, you don't know what's made it hot. All you know is that everybody's bidding it up and you want to get in, and there's a lot of danger in that. Okay, and so that's not how professional traders trade. It's not how professional retail traders play the market. It's just not how we do it. And so you want to be looking at opportunities where price action is dipping, and then you can get long on the dip using these high probability models. All right, so I hope that one makes sense. I want to get into VTGN. Now, this is actually something right off of our watch list that I've been talking to our community members about. I've been talking about this in Ask a Trader, and you can see that on this stock we are seeing a very, very similar pattern. Price action as of mid-December has been very, very bullish. Now, what happens here is that price action moves up, pulls back. Okay, so we're getting that move up, we're getting that pullback. It's in this area around that pullback off of that exponential moving average that you would want to look at this through the lens of, this is a high probability opportunity. It's starting to move, it's pulled back, it's a fraction of the pullback. The volume on the sell side is so incredibly low, and we're getting a strong level of support on that exponential moving average. All of those things suggest that there is a probability that this is going to move higher than it is lower. And what you can see is that that resistance level pops, and we get that nice move up, and then we got, again, another pullback. And it's in that pullback that we would be looking at this as a potential opportunity. And this is where I started to alert our members on the fact that VTGN could potentially pop. What I want to do is I want to open this chart up and actually show you some of the areas on an intraday level as to where you could have been trading this. Now we're looking at the same stock, but we're looking at it on a smaller time frame. Okay, this is a 2-minute chart. This is what I use for day trading, and you can essentially see that if we pull all of this data out, we've got this flat line here, and then it really starts to move. And when it moves, what does it do? It moves up and it pulls back. This is a tradable area right through here. So you can see that this is actually producing a flag. Okay, it's got a symmetrical triangle. There's the apex, and it pops and it moves up. And when it moves up, what does it do? It pulls back, offering yet another tradable opportunity. And in this case, you've got a large descending triangle with a lead-in trend that is very, very bullish. Where's the opportunity to get long? It's right here. And you can see that it pops. And even now today, what we're looking at now going into Monday is an ascending triangle with a flat top potential breakout at that psychological $3 level. And that's VTGN. Again, this is all pattern recognition. If you're new to patterns, you really want to look at as many charts as possible. You want to chalk those charts up with all the lines that you can, but you want to focus on pattern recognition and understand the probability rates of these patterns. Okay? Last stock I want to look at is going to be on the daily, and it's going to be VIR. Now, what I want to do here is I want to show you that this has been quite volatile lately. There have been moments in the past where it's seen some extreme volatility, as right here, leg up, pulls back, gets volatile. Pulls back, doesn't really do a whole lot, and then recently we've found ourselves in the volatility zone again. As of early January, this thing has moved up, it's trended, it's had multiple spike days, and it's pulled back in the range. Now what we're looking at is we're looking at a support level that's being offered by that exponential moving average. Those lows are getting higher and higher and higher, while we've got an $83 resistance level. Okay, And so the probabilities suggest that if that $83 level pops, this thing very well could move. And so when I'm looking at tradable opportunities, what I'm looking at is this. I'm looking at the prospects of something potentially breaking out. I don't want to get into a stock that has already broken out unless it has proven a trend, and that's a different video lesson. But in this particular situation, this is something that I'm watching with our members because this is something that could potentially pop. This is an optionable stock, so I do have the option to trade this with some calls and get some of that upside exposure while mitigating my downside risk. It's completely hedged, and you don't stand to lose anything past the premium that you play on the option side of things. Again, another story, another lesson. But what I want to take you to is this, and we're going to conclude here. Pattern recognition, if you're trading the technicals, is it's absolutely mandatory that you understand how patterns work. I've worked with tons of people that have come to me and said, listen, I know that there's opportunity in the market and I want to trade it, but I just don't understand patterns and how to get in, how to get out, and how to get in front of these patterns. And this is something that I've worked with a ton of people with. And essentially what happens is on the other side of understanding patterns and how to really trade them, they come out the other side consistent, and their consistency is that they're slowly building their capital up on these high probability examples. So if you want to learn more about pattern recognition, the entire master class, which is exceptionally popular, it's all based on pattern recognition. Okay, so if you want to learn more about the patterns, how to trade them, how to get in, how to get out, how to use our profit target taking tool, and more importantly, how to find these things before they pop, all in the masterclass. There's actually going to be a link below in this video. You can click right through. You can enroll in the masterclass. It's on demand. About 12 hours of content in there that you get to keep and watch. And so if you have any questions, by all means, reach out, Julian at jlewistrading.com. If you want to jump into the masterclass and really take control of understanding how patterns work, there's a link below. Connect with that and join our community. And again, if you have any questions, Julian at jlewistrading.com. Please reach out if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.